So apparently we had a technical problem and my screen did not show up on the last video. All right, so we'll make this quick. Okay, go down to your nonfiction narrative writing, open that up, okay? And that should look like this. We've done our brainstorming, okay? And then we did our pre-writing. This is going to help you with your drafting. So make sure your pre-writing is completed. Here is your topic sentence to kind of drive your story. You will use these character traits, details, and dialogue in your rough draft, okay? Then you came down and you outlined your narrative. Then yesterday, we were breaking up the draft into intro, rising actions, climax, falling action, and resolution. You are going to use this for your actual draft, which you will put down here. Okay, so a lot of this is going to be copy and paste if you did it correctly. So please have this open while I go through the PowerPoint very quickly. All right, so we are on drafting day 2. So you'll be completing your first rough draft today, and you will be using your main idea statements, your character chart, your timeline, and your other draft for your intro, body, and resolution. Again, we're writing about how a person can influence somebody from a different generation. So you're going to take all the other elements we've been doing and you're going to kind of combine them together with using transitional words. Again, transitional words are things like, so if you look over here, to make the sequence of your events and your narrative clear to your readers, use transition words such as first, then, next, later, and finally to establish a clear chronological order. Use the numbered events in your timeline to help you determine which transition words to use and where in your writing to use them. So remember, we had that timeline, and then you guys started doing your rough draft for your intro, your rising actions, your climax, your falling action, your resolution. Well, you can use parts of that and start to kind of copy and paste, but you also want to integrate some transition words so that it flows. So when you go to do your rough draft, make sure you do the following. Provide an introduction that establishes a clear context and point of view. If it's about you, probably first person. If it's not about you, third person. Present a clear chronological sequence of events that are linked by clarifying transitions. We just talked about that. Provide a conclusion or resolution that follows from and reflects on the events and experiences in the narrative. How did someone change? That's what you need to put in the resolution. Okay, make sure that you effectively use narrative techniques such as dialogue, pacing, and description. Go find that chart on dialogue. Next, use descriptive details, sensory and language, and precise words and phrases. Then establish voice through word choice, sentence structure, and tone. Remember, we went over voice. Go find that box. Then attend the norms and conventions of discipline. Hey, use some periods, okay? All that stuff, your grammar, your sentence structure, all that. Okay, and we also went over sentence structure. So go back to that box. All right, so make sure you're using everything to help you on your first draft. Now, here are the reminders, the things that you have to have in a nonfiction narrative. A nonfiction narrative is a story of something that actually happened. In a personal narrative, the writer uses the first person point of view, employing pronouns I, me, and my, to tell the true story of something that he or she experienced. Other nonfiction narratives, such as biography, are written from the third person point of view. So that would be she, he, her, okay. All right, here's the other things you definitely need in your draft. A well-developed major and minor characters, as well as a narrator who is you, the writer. Okay, problem, conflict, we need to have sequence, we need to have narrative techniques, we need to have transitional words, precise language, and make sure that you reflect on the experiences in your conclusion. Okay, so you guys are going to go in and start your rough draft and your nonfiction narrative assignment. Okay, so go in here, start going on your rough draft right here, first draft.